All right, this is about the upper classes, a corner of the upper classes that have created all the walls that everyone knows about. All the protest groups talk about the banks, the banks, the banks, right? That's the upper classes, the very rich. And they're a corner of the upper classes. And more about them, right? Okay, so they hate America, right? They hate France. They hate Jewish people. That's the corner of the upper class, are highly anti-Semitic. I mean, the anti-Semitism from them is off the scale. They literally created the Holocaust. All right, so now, right now, the upper classes have hated France, okay, for a long time. All right, so this argument is about a war against America and also what anti-Semitism is. All right, so I want to talk about France because the upper classes have ruined France, and it's not anti-Semitism going on there. Okay, it's something else about France. Okay, so what's going on is the upper classes hate the fact that France is a very sophisticated and bourgeois country, bourgeois, because that empowers people and then creates industries, just like the art industry created the car industry, coming from the Bauhaus. All right, so it industrializes people and empowers the middle and working classes. So the upper classes are just demolishing it because they want the upper power and they want everyone else to die as a consequence. All right, so that's the British upper class, by the way, and then they ruined France. All right, they filled it with Africans to get rid of the bourgeois sophistication that France is really known for and on the map. All right, but the art world, right, that then went to Germany and became the Bauhaus and the car industry. All right, so now the sophistication of France is very wealthy, right, and the upper classes feel threatened, right, because they're paranoid schizophrenics. All right, and they're constantly attacking anything to do with industry. All right, so now when the anti-Semitism that's coming from the upper classes, well, that's the same. There's nothing to do with being Jewish. It's because the Jewish people empower the women that industrializes the society to uh, double the society's income. Right, just because you've equated women into the picture in society, the economy goes up 50% by default, but we haven't got there yet. Right, so their voice is still dimmed, right, and because of that, the security and the economy is very affected. It has a long-term effects. All right, so the upper classes they hate Jewish people because they empower society to economy over 50%, just like Hollywood did, right? When they put women on the stages, then Hollywood income over doubled, right? And it's been like that ever since, right? So now the upper classes, they're very anti-Semitic because, not because of Jewish, nothing to do with Jewish, nothing to do with being French people either. It's the art world, right? It's the empowerment of society and the middle and working classes that is banned by the upper classes, the British upper classes. Now let's look at America. What do the British upper classes think of America? Well, we know what they think of France and what they've done to France, filled it with Africans, killing the French women, killing the whole middle and working classes. Let's look what they've done in Germany, creating the Holocaust, killing the middle and working classes at their best, and the car industry. All right, so now in America, well, they've filled it with fentanyl because it's all middle and working classes. Right, so that's the story of what anti-Semitism is, and what the anti-Americanism going on in Britain, because Britain is anti-American. Right, you know, the British upper classes are attacking America. Well, the morale of British people is that they also don't like America. Well, British is Africans, that's why. Voodoo. Homosexuality, preferences of the homosexual communities for it to be African because they're bigger. Because Jamaicans and Irish people and the English are too slim, and they have women's rights. They equate with the Jewish people. They equate with the art world. Well, the upper classes hate all of that. Right, so now they've done 9/11. ACME demolition is that a corner of the upper classes, McDonald's. They've done 9/11. Let's look at where they're attacking now. First it was France, then it was Germany, now it's America, and then now it's Russia because the upper classes are Zelensky too. Right, so at the end of the day, I mean, America is under attack like the Jewish people were in Germany, just like the French people are in France. And it has nothing to do with being Jewish or being French or being American. It's because you're empowering yourself and the upper classes are banning it. It's disgusting, I know. Who would do something like that for your neighbour? We're neighbours to the upper classes. Like, who would do something like that? I mean, they're the lowest form of life, okay, when you find out about these upper classes, right? And they're not British either. They're German witches. Right, the corner of the upper classes are German witches. They reside in Britain. They're attacking America, France, and Germany, and now Russia. All right, so America is very much under attack, received a much bigger attack, I reckon, than what Russia is receiving right now. Over the years, America has suffered a prolonged attack, very quiet and silent, by the upper classes that killed France, that destroyed the Jews in Germany, and then blamed the Germans when it had nothing to do with Germans. It was to do with African witches that reside in Germany. The homosexual community blamed Germany and Hitler. All right, and then now the middle and working classes are dying in Germany, as well as the Jewish people, and France, and now America, are all coming from Britain. All right, so America needs to invade Britain and get rid of that upper class and put them in jails that are built underground and let them live there for the rest of their lives and have their little society right there in the necropolis. That's where they belong. The damage they've done. They never wake up and act like a human, like everyone else does. America needs to stop this outrage. And I hope I've explained as best as I can, because we also have this problem in England. The middle and working classes are very under attack. We're starving to death. We shouldn't be. We're the richest country in the world. England is. They own the banks. That's all the world banks, by the way. We shouldn't be starving. But we're under attack by the rich, who can't live with their neighbours, the middle and working classes. Anyone working with that group needs to be hung. And we know there are loads of people in this country supporting and assisting that upper class group that are killing the middle and working classes. Has nothing to do with being Jewish, French, or American. Over and out. So about the upper classes, the corner of the upper classes, well, they also created all the dark Indian, Pakistani corner shops, and the upper classes are created the far right. Right, so to the far right, I say to them, listen, you brought in too many Pakistanis, okay? It's costing this country a fortune. You're an absolute disaster, right? Now, you're filling all the hotels with immigrants now, you far right people. And so who are you? You're a twit show. All right, you're nothing to do with white people. You need to shut up, go away. You're homosexual. Your boyfriend is in those immigrant hotels right now, and all those Pakistanis, and it's costing this country a fortune. You damn far right. So the far right is a ratio. It's like one white guy to 50 Africans, and they're all immigrants. And those immigrants are a boyfriend of that one homosexual there, a white guy, and that's the far right. And it's costing this country a fortune. They brought in all the Pakistanis, now all the boat immigrants. All right. So and that this far right, they hate Tommy Robinson, right? They hate all the Parliament, the whole of Parliament. Let's not forget Joe Cox was murdered by the far right in the prison communities. All right, they're a black community. All right, they're nothing to do with white people. They want to turn the whole of England African, uh, and 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 they hate Jamaicans as well. So they hate Tommy Robinson, the far right, that are a homosexual group, a corner of the upper classes, and they're destroying England. The middle and working classes now represented brilliantly by Tommy Robinson.